Chapter 7. The Sect Tournament. The tournament grounds were absolutely buzzing with excitement. Hundreds of eager spectators packed the stands, their faces lit up with anticipation, practically vibrating with energy as they watched the competitors gear up for battle. Shen Liang stood tall, his azure dragon sword shining in the sunlight, making him look like a total warrior ready to conquer anything. You could almost feel the buzz in the air, right? The crowd erupted with cheers, their voices blending into a wild roar that echoed everywhere. It was like being in the middle of an epic movie scene. The atmosphere was electric. Everyone was on the edge of their seats, waiting for that first epic clash. Cheers and chants echoed, creating a vibe that made your heart race. Shen's determination was palpable, and you could just tell something incredible was about to unfold. This was more than just a tournament. It was a celebration of skill, passion, and the spirit of competition. Challengers were dropping like flies, and honestly, it felt like we were watching the craziest magic show ever. His sword skills? Absolutely mind-blowing. You could see the shock on everyone's faces, just standing there, totally speechless, whispering, "Who is this warrior we used to laugh at?" It was wild. I mean, remember when he was just the underdog? Now, he's slicing through opponents like they're nothing. It's like he flipped a switch and suddenly he's the star of the show. Everyone's jaws were on the floor, right? You could practically feel the energy in the air, buzzing with disbelief and excitement. What a transformation! Shen Liang found himself in the ultimate showdown against his toughest rival, Wei Long, the shining star of their sect. Seriously, the atmosphere was electric. You could practically feel the tension crackling in the air as their swords clashed like thunder, sending sparks flying everywhere. It was like something out of a movie. In this breathtaking moment, Shen Liang unleashed a final, decisive strike that caught Wei Long completely off guard. You could see the surprise on Wei Long's face. It was priceless. With that incredible move, Shen Liang claimed victory in this martial fight, and the crowd erupted in cheers that echoed for miles. This wasn't just any fight. It was a legendary clash that showcased not only skill, but also the heart and determination of both warriors. Fans will definitely be talking about this fight for ages. What a spectacular display of talent and spirit. This is what true rivalry is all about. The Grand Elder nodded in approval. You have proven yourself. Welcome back. Chapter 8. Rising Tensions. Shen Liang's comeback really shook things up in the sect, didn't it? It was like a scene straight out of a drama. Some folks were secretly plotting against him, feeling all kinds of threatened by his return. You could sense the unease, right? Meanwhile, others were absolutely buzzing with excitement, eager to soak up his martial wisdom and learn from his experiences. You could practically feel the tension buzzing in the air as the whispers about his incredible rise spread like wildfire through the halls. Everyone was on edge, curious about what he'd do next. Would he reclaim his old position, or was he planning to shake things up even more? Some were even placing bets, trying to guess his next move. It was a wild ride, full of drama and intrigue, and you just couldn't look away. While all this human drama was unfolding, something super creepy was brewing in the shadows. Picture this. Deep in the east, those ancient demons who've been locked away for ages are finally waking up. Can you even imagine the chaos that's about to go down? It's like a horror movie waiting to happen. I mean, just think about it. These are not your average bad guys. They're the stuff of legends, right? You've got tales of wrathful spirits and dark forces that have been sleeping for centuries, and now they're stretching their limbs, ready to unleash havoc. It's almost like they're saying, "Hey, remember us?" And let's be real, the thought of them roaming free is absolutely spine-chilling. What do you think will happen when they hit the world stage again? Will they wreak havoc, or maybe even seek revenge? It's a wild ride just waiting to unfold. In the stillness of the night, Shen Liang settled into meditation, feeling that familiar rhythm of his breath, you know? It was like he was tapping into this hidden reservoir of power deep within him, something he could almost taste. As he focused, he sensed something stirring in the air, an ancient darkness that felt like it was whispering his name, pulling him closer to its unsettling call. It was like this thick fog wrapping around him, making his heart race with a mix of fear and curiosity. What was this force? Was it a warning, or maybe an invitation? The night was heavy with secrets, and Shen knew he had to listen closely. It felt like the universe was holding its breath, waiting for him to uncover whatever mystery lay ahead. What if this was a chance to discover something incredible about himself? "They're coming," he whispered, his heart racing like a wild drum as the pendant thumped against his chest. It had been so eerily quiet for ages, but now it felt like an alarm blaring in his ears. Panic surged through him, and he could almost hear the echo of their footsteps getting closer, each step sending chills down his spine. The shadows seemed to stretch and twist, making him feel like he was trapped in a nightmare. "Master, there's something in the air," Wei Long said, approaching cautiously. "I know," Shen Liang said, pushing back his chair with determination, his eyes blazing with resolve. "The demons are back, and it's time to face them head on. We can't hide anymore. We've got to stand up and fight together, you know? No more running away. Remember the last time we let fear take over? It only made things worse. This time, let's gather our strength, rally our friends, and show those demons that we're not backing down. We've got this." Chapter 9. The Demons Awakening. Shen Liang's senses were on high alert, and he called upon the powerful azure dragon to aid him. You could just feel the tension in the air. As the days rolled by, warriors from his sect started reporting some seriously eerie happenings. Picture this: villagers turning up dead, their life force seemingly sucked right out of them. It was beyond chilling. Imagine the ground quaking beneath their feet like the earth itself was trembling in fear. And that awful, rotten smell? It hung in the air, thick and suffocating, making it hard to breathe. It felt like something dark and sinister was creeping into their world, and everyone could feel it, you know? The whispers of fear spread through the village like wildfire, and the once peaceful nights were now filled with dread. Shen knew they had to act fast before it consumed them all. One night, Shen Liang and his closest buddies were all about diving into the wild, you know? They were buzzing with excitement, cracking jokes and sharing stories as they wandered deeper into the woods, the kind of night that just screams adventure. Suddenly, they stumbled upon their first demon, a massive, creepy beast with fiery red eyes that glowed like hot coals in the dark. Its skin looked charred, like it had just crawled out of a bonfire. Can you picture the adrenaline pumping through them? It felt like they had stepped into a horror movie, right? You could almost hear their hearts racing, the thrill mixed with a dash of fear. It was one of those moments where you just know life is about to get wild. "Stay back," one of the disciples yelled, his voice trembling with fear. But it was too late. The demon lunged at them, its huge claws slicing through the air like a raging storm, ready to cause total chaos and panic. Shen Liang stepped up, gripping the azure dragon's sword tight. "I've got this," he said, his voice steady, but you could feel the fire burning inside him. He was totally ready to take on whatever came next. You could just tell he was in the zone, right? The battle was nothing short of a wild spectacle, like a clash of titans in a blockbuster movie. The demon's strength, absolutely overwhelming, like a freight train barreling down the tracks. But Shen Liang, wow, he had transformed so much from who he used to be. Every dodge was like a dance, fluid and graceful, as he weaved in and out of the demon's wild strikes. You could practically see the determination in his eyes. And when he countered, it was all about precision, like a skilled archer hitting the bullseye every single time. With one final, powerful blow, he severed the creature's head clean off, and it was almost poetic watching its body crumble to ash, scattering like dust in the wind. You could feel the weight lift from the air, right? That moment of triumph echoed across the battlefield, marking not just a victory but a testament to his incredible growth and resilience. It was like watching a hero finally rise to the occasion, and honestly, it gave me chills. A chill ran down Shen Liang's spine, and wow, he could really feel the weight of this moment. It was like standing on the edge of a cliff, knowing the storm was brewing just beyond the horizon. He sensed those demons closing in, their presence so thick you could almost cut it with a knife. It hit him that he'd need every bit of strength he could muster, plus the unwavering loyalty of his sect if he wanted to stand a chance against what was coming. He could almost hear their whispers, those dark voices taunting him, reminding him of all the battles still ahead. With each tick of the clock, that urgency just kept building. It was time to rally his people, to remind them of their shared purpose. Together, they had this incredible strength and unity, and he knew that if they stood together, they could face whatever darkness lay ahead, no matter how daunting it seemed.